Hello there. Let's look at some interesting art in the headlines from November and December 2022. This piece has a notable creator, Winston Churchill, who served as British Prime Minister from 1940 to 1945 and 1951 to 1955. He began painting in the 1910s as a cure for depression, and he created over 500 works throughout his life. This painting is titled Still Life, Silver at Chartwell, and sold recently for $607,000. It's not the best technically, and I remain critical of Churchill's policies, but I find this piece to be quite charming. This piece by artist Philip Joseph is currently being displayed at the residence of U.S. Ambassador to NATO. Ambassador Julianne Smith was born and raised in Michigan and wanted to feature art from her home state. This seems like a pleasant seaside walk, and I hope it beautifies the ambassador's office. This painting is titled Still Life with a bowl of strawberries, basket of cherries, and branch of gooseberries. It was created in 1631 by Louise Moylan and was unknown until this past year. This is one of the more intriguing still lifes I've seen lately. The earthy reds and greens remind me of a Christmas holly plant. I don't feel drawn to portraits, but this one of Moses with his palms raised is highly expressive. It was previously estimated to be worth only $6,000. The auction house previously attributed it to an anonymous artist, but now believe it to be the work of Italian Baroque painter Francesco Barbieri, also known as Guercino. This caused the hammer price to raise to over $600,000 during a November auction. This is one of several pieces created by Taiwanese artist Han Shu Tang, created from red cedar and fir woods. I admire the way it appears to float away with the wind. I wish I could say this was an item I could really store in my house, but in fact it is partially created by computers. Artist Thomas Dambo crafted 6 trolls out of salvaged scrap wood. This particular one is known as Santi Iktu. They are collectively known as the Giants of Mandurah, after the city where the artist lives, an hour south of Perth, Australia. I have never visited Australia, but I think it would be delightful to stumble across one of these giants. This piece, called Ocean Atlas, sits off the coast of Nassau, Bahamas. You can see the size of this piece, about 16 feet, contrasted against the diver and fish photographed alongside it. It was constructed underwater in 2014 by artist Jason DeCaires Taylor. Kevin Stone was once in the ferry industry, then in commercial stainless steel production, but built his first sculpture in 2003. He works in a 4,000 square foot shop in Chilliwack, British Columbia, in Canada. He has made many pieces over the years, and I would like to place this dragon in my backyard. This monumental painting is titled St. Angelus Preaching in the Basilica of St. John Lateran, and portrays St. Angelus having traveled from Jerusalem to Rome to secure recognition of the Carmelite order in 1218. It was created by Antonio Enriquez, an 18th century Mexican painter. It was unknown for years, but Professor Elena Robin received a grant to travel to Mexico, and insisted the painting was somewhere in the Guadalajara Museum, and found it rolled up in a storage room where it had been incorrectly labeled. This painting, titled Still Life with Bread and Eggs, was created by Paul Cezanne. The painting is nice enough, but what's more interesting is what the painting hides. The Cincinnati Art Museum observed some cracks, brought in an X-ray machine, turned the stitch images sideways, and discovered a self-portrait of the artist. Is that Gandalf on his horse Shadowfax? No, it's actually a painting called Sacred Sunset by artist Mark Maggiore. He was born and trained in France, but dreamed of the cowboys of the Wild West, and eventually moved to America. I love the way the sunset hits the foliage, the horse, and the rider. It's so well done that at first glance I thought it was a photograph, and I just want to step right into this beautiful painting. This painting, 3/12/86, was created by Zhao Wauqi, who lived from 1920 to 2013. He was educated and taught painting at the Chinese Academy of Art, and was one of China's most famous abstract oil painters. His works and works by other artists are now featured in an exhibition at Zhejiang Art Museum. His painting is more abstract than I usually prefer, but I nonetheless find the colors attractive. This piece, titled After the Storm, is intended to remember those who died during the COVID-19 pandemic, and is located in Great Seal State Park in Ohio. It was created by Ohio artist Kevin Liles. It is 18 feet tall and 12 feet wide, is made of stainless steel, and shows the silhouettes of birds. This piece, titled Tribute, shielded people from the pipe bomb that struck Atlantis Centennial Olympic Park in 1996. It was created by artist Peter Calaboyas, who died on November 17th at the age of 82. Mr. Calaboyas taught art at the high school and college level. It is a shame that the world has lost such an interesting artist. This sculpture, titled Light as a Feather, is installed at Scissortail Park in Oklahoma City. It was created by artists Jason Kilmosky and Leslie Chang. It is 14,000 pounds and 31 feet tall and contains hundreds of fiber optics that enable it to light up. This sculpture, titled Albatross, was created by artist Tanya Ashkin and is located in Wellington, New Zealand. I don't love the abstract shape of it, but the inclusion of water gives it an appealing sense of momentum. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for viewing.